Wanda.
And I'm Bloom the Wings Fairy.
And today we are brewing up some witches stew in our cauldron and celebrating Halloween.
In honor of All Hallows Eve, even though once you're watching this, it's a week later, we wanted to tell some spooky Lasell haunting stories. But before we do, let's do our Stew Fits Halloween edition. So today I am Bloom the Wings Fairy, which is the blue one with red hair. I have a little blue dress on, my little wings from Party City. I have my white go-go boots on, some white lace gloves, and then a little pearl necklace and some butterfly earrings. And can't forget the little tiara.
So cute. I am Wanda from Marvel, WandaVision specifically. So I have on this red little crop top. I'm wearing a red velvet American Apparel skirt by Savers. I have these little red gloves, my red cape, and my handmade headpiece.
She did so well on
and
it.
my white Vans, classic. While we tell of our haunted campus happenings, we'll be painting these little ceramic ghosts. And just like Casper, they are awful friendly.
We got these a year ago and never painted them, and honestly, I think it was the universe telling us we had to make this episode. Which, by the way, is our second installment of Breaking Stews, our segment where we craft while chit-chatting about a juicy topic.
With that being said, let's get into it because you're in for a doozy.
So we're actually getting these stories from an old Chronicle article written by alum Mackenzie Deneen in 2016. Any laser will know that campus is full of history, and the Victorian homes especially have a lot of history. And it's quite possible that all of these folks our buildings are named after could be our happy haunts. Supposedly, the East-West Quad has gotten some action from spirits, according to a handful of Lasell alum.
According to Melody Maltby, a sophomore at the time, her and her roommate would see like a tall, dark silhouette standing at the end of their bed, and that was in Van Winkle, but there's a similar story actually from Rockwell. So one roommate had like a dream about the figure, and the other roommate like saw him at the end of her bed. Like, how spooky is that?
I would simply have to move out. That's so freaky. Also on that side of campus, former student Kim Mantiga was using a Ouija board one night in East, which you're just asking for trouble already,
That's
girl.
Yeah.
But what do you know? She came across a spirit named Samantha who claimed she passed away nearby. And when Kim asked her if it had hurt, she responded with yes. So that's fun.
I'd cry. I would just simply have to cry. No other choice.
Gab, you lived in East, didn't you? Didn't you have some weird stuff happen to you?
Oh, I definitely have experienced things in those four walls. So supposedly, if you have two mirrors facing each other, it creates a portal, and Lord knows what's getting through this portal, right? So naturally, my roommate at the time and I had two mirrors facing each other, and something definitely got in. Like, nothing super crazy was ever happening, but we would come home and things would be in different places than we left them. Decorations would be falling over, which is something that could definitely happen on its own when you're out of the room, but not sure that was the case for us. But moving over to the other side of campus, let's chat about the old tenants of Clarendon House who experienced some spooks during their time living there.
Yes, let's. Me and Gab actually live in K House this year, so these stories hit a little too close to home.
Yeah.
A class of 16 alum, Eliza Bogaisian, is quoted to say, "I don't know if you can call them ghosts, but I feel like I'm intruding on someone else's space." Like, how unsettling is that?
Yeah.
She goes on to say that sometimes she would be laying in bed and it would suddenly start rocking side to side and it felt like it was vibrating. Sound familiar, Gab?
So Sunday, right, I woke up and my bed was literally shaking. Like, I thought maybe the house was just getting work done or something was going on outside. But when I asked Kate if she had felt it, she had no idea what I was talking about. Like, it woke me up. It didn't happen to her, so I don't know. Something else that happened in our sweet, sweet K house actually happened to Eliza's roommate, Tessa Dinney, where she woke up saying that she saw her roommate laying on the floor reading. Sounds normal, right?
Wrong. Her roommate wasn't actually there. Eliza was in the library and didn't return to her room until hours later. And it's funny that we read about that because a similar thing happened to me one morning when I swore I saw Gab fast asleep in her bed when she should have been at work. And I just thought, oh, she must have called out. I went to the bathroom, and when I got back, Gab wasn't there, and she was actually at work the whole time. Now, that could have just been my sleepy eyes fooling me, but I swear I saw a body in that bed, and then poof, gone. Mind you, these events happened to us before we even read this article, so you can imagine how freaky it was reading that former house dwellers spoke of like those same occurrences happening.
We also read about Gardner being a haunted spot in another Chronicle article from 2011. Residents shared stories of hearing lots of weird noises, things falling off the wall, and one alum even claimed to feel someone grab her shirt and brush against her skin as her two roommates sat at their desks in the other corners of the room. So it obviously wasn't them.
No, ma'am. Imagine feeling someone touch you and then no one be there. Apparently there also is a rumor that a man hung himself in room 7 of Gardner ages ago, but who knows where that story came from.
We could go on all day with these stories, but unfortunately we only have so much airtime. So if you're interested in learning more about the haunted happenings of Lasell, search up Lasell Haunted Stories, and the Chronicle article in question should be the first to pop up.
They're looking interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little busted, but, you know, we're trying our best.
It's in the Target dollar section, you know, there's only
ago.
so much we could do with that a year ago.
Paint's a little dry, but we tried our best.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this edition of Breaking Stews, and hopefully we didn't spook you too hard with our haunting stories. We'll have to keep you updated with our K-House ghosts.
I know. And to find those updates on our K-House ghost, you can follow us on the stew_LU on Instagram and Lasell Community TV on Instagram. Now remember, don't prop two mirrors facing each other and sleep with one eye open if you feel a presence with you. And catch us next time for another episode of The Stew.
Farewell, foolish mortals.